Good afternoon. Good afternoon, and welcome to today's edition of A Time Out with Tony. Last week, I introduced you to the first of the four qualities of a good man. I shared the foundation of what inspired me to come up with this series, which is the biblical story found in Mark 2 of Jesus healing a paralyzed man. I've explained that, or I shared last week with you that, I've heard this passage preached in a number of different angles. And certainly Jesus is the main character, but I also believe that there were four other main characters that somehow keep getting pushed to the side, or their impact in the story becomes minimized because we tend to focus on different areas of that story. I also talked about the roles those four men played, and this is how this series of the four qualities of a good man was birthed, if you will. Each of the four qualities is my tribute to those four men who I call unsung heroes. I gave you the four qualities, and I'm going to give them to you again if you're taking notes and you're trying to remember what they are. The first one is care. The second one is character. The third one is competent. And then the fourth and final one is commitment. And last week, I began with the first quality, which was care, which is the catalyst for love, or the affection or expression of love. If you missed last week's show, I would encourage you to, when you get a chance, to go back and listen to that so that you can follow along with the qualities as they're being presented. Today, I want to review the second quality every good man has. And that second quality is the word character. Now, when you hear the word character, what comes to your mind? Perhaps some of you may have thought about playing a role or a part in a movie, TV show, play, or book, and that is the correct application of the word. However, it's not the character I'm going to discuss today as it relates to those four men. I'm going to use the definition of the word character as a noun, as it's written in the dictionary, And it says it's the mental and moral qualities distinctive to an individual. Let me read that again. Character is described or written as it's written in this dictionary. The mental and moral qualities distinctive to an individual. See, I like this application because I believe it speaks to what's at the core of a man. It's that guiding light that affects his decisions. It's the one thing that speaks volumes, even when there is no one around to hear it. In essence, it's about doing the right thing when no one is looking. So let's go further. The Bible tells us in Matthew 6:1 to not do your good deeds publicly to impress or to be admired by others. A good man does the right thing, not because he wants to be seen or be a pat on the back or receive all his adulation. He does the right thing because it's the right thing. See, a good man will take a stand on an opposing position, even if it means he stands alone. If you recall from the first segment, I referred to how easily it is for men to succumb to peer pressure. We go along to get along, right? Even if what we believe inside is truly contrary to what we're doing, the actions we're taking. There's a quote I often share when I do this presentation in person, and it reads, "Wrong is wrong, even if everyone is doing it. Right is right, even if no one is doing it." See, a good man is not afraid to take a stand, even if it means he's in opposition of those around him. He will stand on his principles and morals that he believes are to be correct, or that are correct or right. So I want you to remember that quote. Wrong is wrong, even if everyone is doing it. Right is right, even if no one is doing it. See, a good man is not afraid to take a stand, even if it's unpopular. Let me give you an example. Suppose you're at work or wherever you may be at, and one of your colleagues makes an off-color remark about a race of people, women, or another sensitive area. Do you say something or just laugh to be considered one of the guys? And if I'm being honest and transparent, I got to tell you, I've done both. Just being honest with you, I've experienced both sides of that equation. I like to say that I spoke up more times than just sat and listened, but I cannot sit up here and honestly tell you that I have not just sometimes laugh just to get along and go along. Now let's go back and examine the character of those 4 men. See, I truly believe they were an upstanding moral character. They are the type of friends we should all aspire to have and be for others. They did not waver in their efforts in support of their paralyzed friend. They put his needs ahead of their own. They didn't carry him to receive, like I said earlier, admiration, adulation, pat on the back. They didn't carry him to be seen on the local news or the national news or social media platforms, and they didn't get paid to carry him. At least not in the story. If you can find it, then feel free to email me to counter that. I want you to consider this question. How important are the people we surround ourselves and their impact on our character? See, 1 Corinthians 15:33 tells us, do not be misled. Bad company corrupts good character. Let that sink in for a moment. Or perhaps you've heard it said, or is more commonly referred to as, birds of a feather, you know the rest, flock together. See, a good man understands this principle, and therefore he is very selective and careful about choosing who's in his circle. He understands how the actions and morals of those around him can negatively or positively influence him. See, a good man is someone you can count on. He will tell you the truth, even if it hurts. He will have your best interests, not his, at heart. His moral compass is unwavering. Yes, he is not perfect. He does have flaws, but he stands as an example of doing the right thing. And although you may not always agree with him, he will earn your respect because you know where he stands. Lastly, in the book of Proverbs 10:19, it tells us, whoever walks in integrity walks securely, but whoever takes crooked paths will be found out. There are plenty of examples of men who have lost everything. They lost it all, not because they were necessarily bad, but oftentimes because of a character flaw that they didn't have the discipline or support to overcome. See, when you are a man of character and you're a good man, you can walk securely, not looking over your shoulder, and you can rest at night. Guys, I want you to make up in your mind today that you will be a man of good character, a man that your spouse, your children, your family, and friends can count on. And you will not waver on who you are and what you believe, even if it will cost you some so-called relationships and opportunities. Now, I'm going to ask you to repeat after me. I am a good man. I am a man of good character. I want you to repeat that. I am a good man, and I am a man of good character. Remember, I had said you're not perfect. None of us are perfect. We all have flaws. But I want you to commit to memorizing that little statement that I just had you read or say out loud. Commit it to memory. Write it down if you have to. So when you are faced with some of those difficult decisions or life challenges, it'll help guide you through the process, because it'll always keep you remembering what's at the core of who you are. It'll be that compass. So you want to remember that you are a good man and you're a man of good character. Well, that's it for today's timeout. Be sure to join me next week for part 3 of the 4 qualities of a good man. I will discuss what it means to be competent and how every good man has this character trait. I want to encourage you again, if you are being encouraged by the podcast, you can leave feedback on the platform you are listening to, or if you're watching on YouTube, you can do that, leave it there, leave some comments there, or you can contact me at timeout@tonyrprice.com. Once again, my email is timeout@tonyrprice.com. You can also find me on the various social media platforms. So until our next time out, remember to be safe, give thanks, and look for opportunities to encourage and serve others. Now get back in the game. God bless.